The DNA of negotiation. What makes a negotiation work? There are several elements that might be regarded as the DNA of negotiation, elements that are hardwired into the process of reaching an agreement. They are integral to the strategies that negotiators can employ and so need to be understood in order to manage the process more effectively. Those elements can be used, but they can also be abused. Describing negotiation in terms of DNA creates an image that helps our understanding of the process. The DNA headlights represent two parties who seem to be jostling for position yet are inextricably linked, an indication of the competitiveness and yet cooperation inherent in any negotiation. The truth reflects the fact that negotiation is not straightforward. The links between the two strands of the DNA can be viewed as the key elements that give life and structure to negotiation: reciprocity, trust, power, information exchange, and ethics and outcome. Reciprocity is a feature of many social interactions, including negotiation. What one party does tend to the much to or reciprocated by the other. This does not happen all the time, but it does occur often enough to influence the pattern and progress of the negotiation. Is it an aspect of the process that can be managed? Trust is an expectation that the other party will act in a beneficial rather than exploitative way. A lot of emphasis is placed on building trust, particularly when trying to create cooperative negotiation, but trust is easily overestimated and is fractal. Thinking about trust leads to thinking about behavioral ethics involved in negotiation. Another important feature of negotiation is power. Paradoxically, this has a great deal to do with potential consequence if the parties were not negotiating. The power that negotiators have relates to the alternatives open to them, ways other than negotiation to achieve their desired objectives. Negotiation can be viewed as a process whereby the activities that negotiators think they have are changed. The lack of power, reflected in concern about having only a poor alternative, brings negotiators to the negotiation table and keeps them there. The level of trust between the parties determines the quality of agreement they will then achieve. To a large extent, this trust is built through reciprocity. Information, or more often the lack of it, is central in reaching an agreement and so forms another link in the negotiation DNA. No matter how much negotiators prepare, there are always things that they do not know but wish they did. Many strategies and tactics are designed to improve the negotiator's understanding of what is and is not possible as an outcome. Because of this, negotiation can be viewed as a process of information exchange, particularly information about possible solutions on the one hand and workaway alternatives on the other. Finally, as suggested in the definition of negotiation, the reason for entering into negotiation is to reach an agreement. So the outcome is another part of negotiation DNA. The better the negotiation, the better the outcome. The negotiators are often encouraged to achieve a win-win agreement, but the notion of a win-win agreement is not as clear or as achievable as we would like to think. None of these elements, reciprocity, trust, ethics, power, information, and outcome, are clear out, nor are they mechanistic and precise. This is why negotiation is complex, relatively difficult, and unpredictable. To be a good negotiator means having a practical understanding of negotiation DNA, which helps a negotiator to manage the process while recognizing that all the uncertainty and difficulties can never be eliminated. DNA imagery has its limitation. The two stands never met, perhaps signifying that the parties never reached agreement. That said, having an image or script that resonates with the key aspect of negotiation creates a mental framework to have a negotiator guide the process to an agreement. A visual image sometimes has more life than a carefully formulated definition, such as that presented at the start of this chapter. The DNA image is just one of several that appear throughout this book to have the reader particular understanding of negotiation. Discussion questions. 1. Why do negotiators tend to forget what negotiation is two sided? What might be some consequences of one sided approach to negotiation? 2. Draw a negotiation map of your organization or of your interpersonal interactions or negotiation over the past 2 weeks. 3. Use the definition to analyze the recent negotiation. 4. What other images might be used to describe negotiation? 2. The DNA of negotiation, the negotiators. The focus of this chapter is on you, the negotiator. After reading the chapter, you should be able to assess the effect of personality and bias on how negotiations are conducted, understand how to manage emotion in a negotiation, develop ways to manage difficult negotiators, appreciate the effect that gender may have on the ways in which people negotiate. Understand what it means to become a reflective practitioner. Chapter 1 suggested that negotiation is like DNA, where the two strands are entwined together and are given life and character by a number of critical links. The DNA imagery of negotiation is that the two strands are the two parties and the links are critical elements that are hardwired into the process, without which negotiation won't happen. The chapter will focus on the two strands of our negotiation DNA, the parties, while chapter 3 will look more closely at the links that shape the negotiation. Reciprocity, trust, power, information exchange, ethics, and outcome. Parties to the negotiation. The two strands of our negotiation DNA represent the two parties, each with objective and priorities. Most business negotiations are conducted by negotiators acting on behalf of organization, so even when these negotiations are one-on-one, the shadow of the organization is often in the background. When thinking about a party to negotiation, it's important to consider the interaction between that party's negotiators and those these represent. These intra-party dynamics are explored in Chapter 9. But what of the individual negotiator? One reason why negotiation is characteristically messy is that people are different. We each try to do things in different ways and react differently to what is happening around us or to us. Our personality impacts on how we negotiate, but how much?